Three tomatoes are walking down the street. Papa tomato, mama tomato, and baby tomato.
Playing Ketchup presents.
Starring Lindsey Hinkle and Jaime Nelson.
So this is Playing Ketchup, is it? I prefer something with a little more kick.
Everybody's favorite condiment-themed entertainment podcast.
Put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby!
Hot sauce.
Nobody puts ketchup on a hot dog.
Welcome to Hot Sauce on PlayingCetchupPodcast.com. I'm your host, Lindsey Hinkle, and with me today is my co-host, Jaime Nelson.
Hello, everyone. Are we talking about science fiction today, Lindsey?
I think we're talking about science fiction every day, Jaime. We're living it.
Do you have a flying car?
No.
Oh, do you have a robot that does your dishes?
I have a cat
That does your dishes?
that watches me do my dishes.
That impedes you from doing your dishes.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy, okay, every time I try to do something productive, that cat knows. He's like, oh, Mom's trying to do something productive. She's trying to do something good with her life. She's trying to write a paper. I'm gonna go lay on her computer. And he just sprawls out, and he's like, love me, and he starts purring, and I have to pet him, and I have to move him, and then he comes back on the computer, and then by the time I finally get him off of there, I look at the paper I was writing in the Word document, and it's like random letters that he hit with his giant butt.
You know that cats do that because the computer is warm.
Oh, I thought he did that because he liked me.
But you know, there was that story of the cat who could always tell if someone was going to die because it would come and sit on them in the nursing home. But it turned out that the cat actually knew if the person had a fever, and they liked to sit on warm things.
That's awesome.
And this was in the news, and like a couple months later, it was on House.
That's happened a couple of times when I've been watching Law & Order. I'm like, this seems really familiar. When they say at the end of it, they're like, this is completely fictional, and any, like, resemblance to real life is totally a coincidence, guys. You know that they're totally ripping off something that really happened.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't do it on every show.
Scandalous.
Law & Order. Scandal Unit. Dunk, dunk. Well, wrapping up that there tangent that we just went off on, let's get back to the matter at hand, shall we? Who do we have today?
I believe it's comedian, writer, musician, and all sorts of other stuff guy, Dave Hill.
Now you linger there, like cheap perfume that spills and dries and fills your room. You know you burn my lungs, try as I might, I still can't help but breathe.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Great. What's something that you geek out about?
Heavy metal?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it has like a bigger world to it than just listening to, whatever, the Stones or something. I love the Stones. But yeah, so that and like guitars. I'm really into guitars, and I like suits. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I like suits.
Well, you are a very stylish guy, so...
Oh, thank you.
Do you currently play in any bands?
I play in a few right now, though. It's been a little quieter. I have my own band, Valley Lodge. We've made a couple albums, and we play live every once in a while. We're making a third album now, and it's weird because it's probably my least. We play the least, but we've toured Japan, we've done Bonnaroo, and then we kind of license music. We had to like song, commercials and TV shows and stuff. So it's kind of like a little mini, I guess that's redundant to say, a mini cottage industry. But that's sort of a nice, fun thing to do. And I play guitar with my friend Walter Schreifels and his solo band, Walter Schreifels Band. Walter, some people know him from like bands Gorilla Biscuits and Quicksand and stuff. And we usually tour Europe once a year. My friend Phil has a band called PCP. Anytime my friends need someone to bring the rock heat, on the guitar, come on and do it.
Awesome.
So I'm probably like 3 bands right now. But everyone's old in the band, so it's not like we practice. It's more like, oh, we have a show. We should get together and remember how to play these songs. It's not like when you're 22,
Yeah, I was going to say that must be good. Not having to practice. I think, like, I was in a band in high school, and all we ever did was practice. So we didn't even play any shows. We just sucked at practicing.
Yeah, you just go. But it's sort of fun. Like, I like that about playing in bands when you're younger. It's like sort of like a gang, like a street gang or a club or whatever. And then you get older and, people have jobs and babies and whatever else. And it gets harder to do it that way.
Our theme of the month is science fiction. Are you a fan of science fiction at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm an authority on it.
What's your favorite science fiction franchise?
I don't know, would Doctor Who be a good?
Yes, high five.
That's a good answer, right?
That's a good answer.
But I remember seeing that when I was a young person, a very like young impressionable thing, and just being like, "What?" Like loved how it looked really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I found it really charming. I like things with limitations. I think in all art, I find it more interesting if I have to throw in a little imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely find like when you watch like first time directors, and a lot of times if their first movie's so good, and then the studios start to give them more money, and then they start to suck more and more because they have more at their fingertips.
Yeah, totally. It's like like for me, like CGI, I hate. I mean, I know that's nothing new at this point, but it never looks real to me. It just looks silly. Like I'd rather have like the old Jason and the Argonauts type crazy stuff happening. I'd rather see like stop motion, weird, primitive things happening than, Jar Jar Binks.
Like a skeleton on a string, like in the original House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, that's scary, right? That's so much scarier than being like, oh, this was like USC graduate just cranked this out. I don't know why I chose USC as the school for my imaginary CGI person.
So is Tom Baker your favorite doctor?
Dr. Marcus Welby is my favorite doctor.
From Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. Do you know who Dr. Marcus Welby is?
No, tell me.
Oh, it's from a TV show.
What TV show?
I think Dr. Marcus Welby.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah, Marcus Welby, MD. That's what it was.
And that's a good one?
Yeah, starring Robert Young in the role of a lifetime.
Well, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you do not want to miss it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could travel into the future or the past, when, I suppose, would you go?
Like pre-World War II Japan or something.
Why is that?
Well, I'm obsessed with Japan.
Oh, maybe, is that something you geek out about?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I didn't mention that. I totally do. I'm a Japanophile, I guess you would say. Even though I've only been there once, but I hope to go back. I'd be curious to see it, before it got destroyed by war and all that. There's still plenty of cool old stuff. Like Kyoto is still, has tons of old temples and stuff. And it's actually, this is in my research, America, they were going to drop the atomic bomb on Kyoto because they were like, oh, that's going to piss them off. That's really going to piss them off. And then the Secretary of War had been there, I guess, on his honeymoon and was like, you guys, you can't do it. It's too awesome. Don't do it. So that's why it's still like, the one of the few cities that's like intact.
Really, I didn't know that.
I'm not like a
History professor.
about history or anything really, but weirdly I know that.
Ask you, if you could clone yourself, what would you do?
I'd take them out for a sandwich.
Oh, that's nice.
No, I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if I would want anything to do with another me. I'm in I wouldn't say love-hate relationship with myself. I'd call it like a tolerate hate.
I have control issues. So, like, I want to say that I would tell my clone to go to school for me and do all my studying for me, and then I just go have fun. But with my control issues, I would be concerned that the clone wouldn't study well enough. Because, I mean, like, if the clone is anything like me, the clone is going to be staying on the internet all night, like chatting with people on Facebook and playing games and reading ridiculous stories about how Taylor Hanson's having a fifth kid. Like, that clone needs to be kept in check. So it's like, okay, do I sit there and like micromanage my clone, like sit there and watch it study and take it to class? Or do I just do it myself and kind of forget that I have a clone?
So you're not reliable enough to be your own intern.
That's basically what I'm getting at, yeah. Or maybe I would go out and like play practical jokes on people.
Maybe I would go to Best Buy and just really confuse the salespeople.
This is why we have science for practical jokes.
Yeah, I'm sure I could come up with something better than going to Best Buy. I do that very rarely, even in just with the one me.
I usually end up walking out empty-handed and angry, so.
Well, it's weird. I walk by there randomly, and I always buy like some DVD and I walk out and I'm like, what just happened? Like, how did why, I mean, I like ZZ Top.
Ah,
Just you get in there and all the bright lights gets to you.
Let's talk about your book. Tell us about Tasteful Nudes.
My new book. It's my first book. It's a book of essays, Tasteful Nudes. St. Martin's Press, the popular book company, made it. It's classy looking. I have it right here, actually.
it's got a cover and some pages in it.
Yeah, it's got a cover. It's very book based. It's well suited to the on the go lifestyle. The size of it, you can put it in a bag of some sort. Yeah, it's a bunch of essays, like personal, nonfiction, first person essays. Stories from my life. It's not quite a memoir as it is a bunch of essays sort of tied together. One about where I worked at a homeless shelter. Well, basically, I was put in charge for the night, and someone stole 300 pounds of meat on my watch.
Oh.
And then I found out, well, that it was another employee who stole it to sell it for crack. Then in that, I found out that basically the reason I kept being promoted is because I was the only person in my position that wasn't a recovering crackhead.
Sounds like a cheery book, Dave.
Yeah, well, there's a full range. There's lighter things. Talk about the first time I performed comedy in prison at Sing Sing Prison. What else is in there? Oh, I went on nude cruise, a nude dinner cruise.
that exists?
Yeah, wait, yeah, sadly. Unfortunately, it does exist, as I found out. They have nude dinners, clothing optional dinners, but that basically just means naked. The night I went on it, they rented a boat, and I went on the boat, and I ended up getting naked. I was covering it for a radio show.
Oh, okay.
I ended up exposing I was naked basically.
Does that tie into the title, or is that a different story?
There's 2 essays in the book that involve actual nudity. That one, which ends up involving my nudity, and then the title essay is about someone I met on the internet who was like a fan of my comedy, and I ended up meeting with them, and they ended up being like a high price prostitute escort or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got some classy fans.
I'm told I would never say this myself because I feel like it's not my place, but I'm told it's both funny and touching at the same time, which is very nice.
Oh.
Not that I necessarily set out to do that, but I'm told it has, heart. It's not like a bunch of dick jokes, even though that's what I set out to do.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you, is this the book you wanted to write?
It was supposed to be all dick jokes, and it ended up being, I guess, more than that.
I think we're better off for that.
Yeah, I think it's better. No, so far it seems like people really like it, which I'm psyched about because, you lock yourself in your apartment for a year and write a book or whatever, and suck if no one liked it.
Yeah.
Obviously it'd be nice if a lot of people bought it and it became a huge bestseller, but more, in the smaller goals I would like to be able to write another one. I mean, I could just start typing another one, but it would be nice if a publisher is up for it. I think they will be. I feel like it's going to work out. I feel good about it.
And what kind of things are you doing to promote the book?
I'm going to do a reading in Los Angeles June 3rd at Stories on Sunset, and then the next night is Punchline in San Francisco. Then I'm in Philadelphia June 9th, Boston June 12th, Cleveland, my hometown. I'm going to go there. Then I'll be in Chicago. It's all on my website, Dave Hill Online. I figured I should stop giving all the venues and all be reading my whole tour schedule. I did a book trailer. I have another book trailer, the second one that's going to come out, I think, tomorrow.
Is it another music video or something else?
It's me, Malcolm Gladwell, and Dick Cavett.
Ah.
having chicken wings in the back of a restaurant. That's all I'll tell you.
Well, next time you see Dick Cavett, tell him thank you for his Groucho Marx article for the Times, because I'm a book publicist and our book did very well after his article.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he loves Groucho. That's like his guys.
Yeah.
I think he saw Groucho Marx walking home from a funeral. Saw him at a funeral and followed him home. And that's how he became friends with him.
Hmm.
So then I sort of tracked down Dick Cavett, not after a funeral, but we don't really, we don't hang out and have Sunday dinner.
Well, he was on your podcast.
Yeah, I have Dave Hill's podcasting incident. I started almost 2 years ago, and when I started, I was doing it like like every week, I think, and then I sort of trailed off a little bit once the book thing happened. Like then the thing about writing. This is what thing about a book is you get the book deal and you think, oh great, now I have a book, but then you don't. You actually have to sit and write it, which did not occur to me. I just thought they would give me the money and then the book would magically materialize somehow, but I had to write it. And then as a result of it, my podcast, I had sort of slacked off on it and it was more monthly. And now I'm trying to get back to the weekly podcasting, but I like it.
If you could direct people to your favorite episode, where would you like to send them?
I mean, the Dick Cavett ones are great. I think just Dick Cavett, anything with Dick Cavett in it's going to be great. Tig Notaro, Julie Klausner recently was great. Boy George, Rob Delaney. Sometimes I'll think like, oh, I had fun doing that, but I don't know how it will be for the listener. And then my editor, Shayna Feinberg, who puts it all together, she'll be like, oh no, I really like that one. But it seems like people like it. It got in New York Times Magazine did a thing on comedy podcasts, and they listed it as like one of the 5 podcasts to check out or whatever. But there was actually 6 of them because number 5 was me and Julie Klausner. But I was psyched because I was like, oh, I guess if the Times likes my podcast, I should go buy another microphone and make it even better.
There you go. Always making you spend money that time.
Yeah, bastards.
Where can people find you online?
I have a website on the internet at davehillonline.com.
Just to keep people from thinking that you're Dave Hill offline and in person, as to not be disappointed.
Yeah, that's the day-to-day on-the-go Dave Hill offline, but Dave Hill on... No, some bastard had davehill.com, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a weirdly common name.
Well, my last name's Nelson.
So you know. And then I'm on Twitter, the popular microblogging site.
Mr. Dave Hill?
Yeah, Mr. Dave Hill, all one word. I'm on Facebook. Basically all the things they have out there. I just started Tumblr. Instagram.
Yeah, what's up with this Instagram thing? 'Cause I don't understand.
I mean, there was Hipstamatic, right?
I don't know. See, I don't get the photo things, because I guess I'm sort of a Photoshop snob, and I feel like it should take some effort.
The young people really seem to like it.
The kids these days.
Kids are really into it. But I find that, I just started doing it. It's sort of good for my narcissistic urge to take pictures of myself.
Somebody tweeted today, I can't remember who, something about a scientific study that was done that says tweeting about yourself fires the same thing in the brain as things like sex and food.
Real? Like this is a scientific...
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. So, like, because it does explain, like, why there's this, like, sort of endless urge to, yeah, just, like, constantly... I mean, on the one hand, I use it, like, it's just a way, somewhere to put errant thoughts or whatever. But, most of those thoughts would be fine just vanishing. They don't need to be put on the internet. Sometimes I'll try to do it a lot in my effort to destroy the internet. Like, if I think, like, okay, we're all going to update, I'll show you. Well, I'm going to update so much that this is going to be a nightmare for everybody.
Lofty goals.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that makes sense, something. But yeah, because you put it in, it's like, oh, did anyone respond?
And I wonder if that is sort of the secret to success. Like, if you make whoever invented Twitter, if they're making lots of money now, like, maybe all you really have to do is just study the brain and see what people can become addicted to because of, you know, what parts of the brain it fires up, and then just make an app for that, for whatever that is. And you know that people will keep using it because that's the way we're wired.
Yeah, totally. Well, at some point, all this information's going to come out, and we're all going to be horrified, I think. Like, they'll be like, the average, you know, because they're like, the average person spends a third of their life asleep or whatever. But it's going to be like, the average person spends a quarter of their waking hours on Facebook. And
Can you imagine the anthropology textbooks in like 200 years?
it's going to be insane, and they're going to be like, what?
Insta what?
Yeah, because this is the caveman era of all that stuff. I'm sure of it.
I'm kind of hoping it's a pendulum thing.
Yeah, we'll just have landlines. We won't even have landlines. You'll have to pick it up and ask for the operator to connect you to.
Paper cups and string.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, there's people out there. Did you ever read about like people that they just like choose to live like it's 1952, like that's the technology?
Yeah, I just saw Media Bistro yesterday that they've created a video game that simulates Walden, like Henry David Thoreau Walden.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of ironic, I guess, considering it was supposed to be all about like the absence of technology and the absence of progress and trains and everything. And now it's a video game.
And so people can like play like, oh, my character just went to the side of the pond.
Sat there for 3 hours.
Contemplating something.
There was like a trailer and stuff, and it was like someone pulling a fish out of the water and someone putting their hand in some berries. Like,
yeah, and it's like, well, you could do that. You could just go do that.
Well, I guess we could wrap it up here. Is there anything else you would like to say to the audience before we sign out?
I hope I've done okay.
In life or in this interview?
In both. I don't know. I view almost every human interaction as a failure on my part of some sort. So, podcast, whatever, I was like, oh, blew that one. Even like if I'm going to buy coffee in the morning, just be like, oh, really blew that one. But ordering the coffee didn't go very well. I mean, sure, I got the coffee, but, it didn't
make an impression.
Yeah. I've been going to my same coffee place almost every day for like 5 years. Well, whenever I'm in town, like for the last 5.5 years. And I was convinced that they didn't remember me ever. And then finally, like, I started talking to them, and I told them, I was like, oh, I thought you have so many customers, you probably wouldn't remember that I come in here. They're like, you're here every day. We know who you are. We know you're the guy who orders the large coffee with milk.
It must be somewhat validating.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you really noticed? They're like, yeah, you're here every day, Dave.
Dave Hill, who lives 3 blocks away and has...
It broke open a new world for me. All of a sudden, I'm walking to the coffee shop and saying hello to people.
There's songs in the air.
Yeah, and it's expanded now that, like, one of the restaurants in the neighborhood, I say hello to the people there. It's really, my whole world has changed.
Oh, well, I certainly enjoyed our interaction today, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
1-800-201-3525. No espere más. La llamada que va a hacer ahora le puede salvar la vida a usted.
Forget I met you.
This has been Hot Sauce, brought to you by PlainKetchupPodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and comment on iTunes. Check back every Monday for a new celebrity guest interview. You may also want to check out our hilarious Wednesday videos on youtube.com/PlainKetchup. That's PlainKetchup. Sign up for our newsletter on PlainKetchupPodcast.com to be entered into our monthly drawings. We give away t-shirts, music, stickers, and more from our guests. Please like us on Facebook.com/PlainKetchup and follow us on Twitter @PlainKetchup. Don't forget to support this project by buying Plain Ketchup swag at our Cafe Press store. Have a question? Email Jaime and Lindsey at gmail.com. That's JAIME and LINDSEY @gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay saucy.
You're
Listening
to
Hot
Sauce
on
Plain
Ketchup
Podcast
Dishwasher.com.
Snorkel Bath Towel.
Why does this make me laugh so hard?
Are you on drugs?
No, but that would make me feel better because I could explain what's going on in my brain right now.